You know, it's very clear and obvious now, isn't it, that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have lied on a gigantic scale. And when you think about it also, both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have lied just thinking it was never going to come back and bite them or whatever. I know I've mentioned this numerous times, but I really couldn't get over the fact that they both went along with this ridiculous secret wedding scenario. Remember that? Here's where the problem really gets bigger for Prince Harry, because as I said, if you get caught out lying on a gigantic scale, then people start to look at you again and again, and they look at you a lot deeper. And this is the problem now, as I say, for Meghan, and in particular Harry, because as always, he's pushed to the forefront when anything goes wrong. I told you recently, it's always Harry that has to deal with the fallout, the one that has to ask these particular favours, whether it be with Disney, whether it be taking her to the party for the Kardashians because she wants to look the glittering star. He's just kind of used as a walking handbag. You get the picture. But now this will have bigger ramifications. As ever, let me explain. Hi, morning, nice to see you chums, welcome one and all, and of course welcome to a very rainy, chilly and wintry United Kingdom. I hope you're keeping well wherever you are. You know, I do like to know wherever you are, by the way, and a lot of you very kindly told me where you're watching from in various parts of the world. I found it fascinating. So let me know also, wherever you live in that part of the world, what is it famous for? Was there a famous celebrity that came from that particular area that suddenly, you know, well, sort of took over? Everybody knows when you mention that area, oh yes, didn't he come from there? There must be some connection, whether that's royal, historical, did something happen setting off there? Let me know your own history. For me, obviously being in Yorkshire, you know, we had so many different things, you know, that people related to. Of course, you know, I think it was the band leader from the Titanic, the orchestra leader, you know, he came from here, near here at least. But there were so many others. I mean, people associate Yorkshire with the Brontes, and you know, if you're lucky enough to go to the wonderful land that is Haworth, it is spectacular even today. But what's your sort of connection with the fame of your local area? It's always good to share that, and people, you know, I'm sure people will be fascinated. You're on it already. Well, that's good, you see. Proactiveness is the key in this job, absolutely. Proactiveness might be the key of your Prince Harry, quite frankly, because as we now all know, the battle between him and Buckingham Palace is really, really escalated, and it's all brought on by his own fault. And you see, this really started, when you think about it, this started with the Kim Kardashian party, you know, the Kris Jenner facelift 70th birthday party. They could have not, well, he wouldn't be bothered, but she could not have foreseen just how far she was climbing. There she was with Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez, all the good and the great, celebrating 70 years of Kris Jenner. Now, what I find interesting is, clearly, again, they just feel they can lie and lie and lie their way out of things. And where this really took off for them badly is the fact that they openly lied about signing a release form that didn't exist for the picture's removal off social media. Again, you know, if I was Meghan, I wouldn't be particularly keen on that picture alongside Prince Harry and Kris Jenner. It's not exactly her most flattering pose. And for a woman who's cultivated her look by having her own photographers, particularly with Invictus, photoshopping them, colorizing them, you can understand the problem that they have, right? But this has really escalated because now Hollywood is laughing at them. You know, you can control an image, but this is somebody's birthday party. You should really kind of let that go. On top of all of that, again, Prince Harry's dropped himself in it big time with Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, and this has all been instigated by His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, Prince William. This is because, you see, as you know, he was going to Brazil, shot, all of that sort of stuff, and suddenly Harry pops up in Canada. He claims that he cleared it all with the palace, etc. Meghan Markle believes behind the scenes that he doesn't need to clear it with anybody. He's his own boss, he's not curtailing to the palace, he's not part of their payroll, nothing to do with him. What's the problem? And in many respects she's right, but it's courtesy. And clearly Meghan is driven by just trying to drill a hole into the whole royal household, right? That's the bigger problem. So consequently, what's happened now is that this has escalated because he says that, you know, he did get permission and spoke to someone. No record of it, as I detailed in the previous video. What's interesting here is it's taking now a darker twist, for one that is going to be very problematic for Prince Harry moving forward with his endless fights with the national newspapers over here in the United Kingdom. Now, this is simply because, as you know, Harry is taking to court associated newspapers, which is the Daily Mail Online, and the Mail on Sunday, all about infringement and all sorts of things. You know, a terrible situation, really, that, as I've mentioned many times before, his elder brother, Prince William, drew a line under it, realised it wasn't worth the battle, and consequently donated all of that money, much of it to charity, a lot more of it to Prince Harry's Invictus Games, of which was never recognised in all of those sit-down interviews, and must be very annoying if you are Prince William. Not that he's looking for glory, but, you know, just a reference would have been kind. But no, they couldn't even do that. So why is this now a problem? Well, the bigger problem is that Harry, clearly, unless he can provide some tangible proof that he spoke to Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, who, with, what time and when, well, this, apparently, according to an excellent legal source of mine, could be called into question regarding the, well, shall we say, how can I put this nicely? How truthful is Prince Harry? You see, now there's a complete battle of lies lining up against him. And if they so wished, and again I have to say allegedly, Associated News, which is the Daily Mail, etc., could call upon this, saying that, and if they wanted to be kind, that Prince Harry, you know, had a bit of an issue remembering, recalling, detailing certain things. Now, we saw this in his previous battle in the courtroom before, if you remember. He didn't know that much. He was relying on the hearsay of others. The biggest bombshell that's now happened for Prince Harry in this latest legal battle is the key witness has now refuted the original witness claim, saying he doesn't recall it, doesn't remember signing it, something along those lines. It couldn't get worse. This is really going to be very difficult for Harry to pull against, because they will be now pushing hard as to who said what and when. Now, as we already know, the Prince and Princess of Wales cannot be called forward as witnesses on behalf of Prince Harry. They've made sure that that's not happening. He's totally alone on this. The other side of the coin, and this is again where it gets very interesting, His Majesty the King cannot be called upon this. Many staff members who have now left don't want to be associated with it because it's not for them. They've either moved on and got new jobs, etc. Again, where this gets even more twisted is the fact that Meghan Markle again has managed to remove herself from this. If you remember, she's never openly supported Harry in any of these ventures. She didn't come over for the previous court cases. She didn't sit in the dock. She didn't sit in the courtroom, whatever you want to call it, and just be there for her husband. Yet apparently she's all about showing up, turning up, and making sure that you have something as and when you need it. You see what I'm saying? So Harry now, whether he likes it or not, has engulfed himself in a drama that even he, if they so wish, and the lawyers will be looking at every single aspect, the only saving grace that he now truly has, and again, to me this is fascinating, is that if he can prove exactly how he got clearance and who with. As I told you, Canada not interested. They're assuming it was all done. They're not supporting. Over in Australia, there's no chance of them booking any sort of quasi-royal visit. And now for Harry, basically starting off with Kris Jenner and the refusal to sign the release forms, which allegedly didn't exist. Now, if somebody produces the release form from Kris Jenner's side, that would release Prince Harry's problem. But if it didn't exist, and they're claiming it didn't, then he's really on a hiding to nothing. Over here in England, as I said, the laws are slightly different. And given the fact that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been caught out, shall we say, being slightly fudgy with the truth on a number of occasions, well, now he's really managed to corner himself. And while he might say he was the dragon slayer that was taken on the media because only he could in a sit-down interview with the New York Times, and more importantly, of course, with the likes of ITV about beating the press, well, now it looks like the press could be beating him once again. Truly a developing story. Neil Sean in the very heart of the United Kingdom.